shortly after you file a bankruptcy, usually somewhere between 3 weeks and 5 weeks, and in most jurisdictions, it's closer to 4 or 5 weeks, there's going to be a hearing that you have to attend. It's called a Meeting of Creditors. Creditors rarely ever come to those meetings, but the trustee that's appointed to your case will come to the meeting, and you have to come to the meeting. When you come to the meeting, you have to prove who you are, so you'll need to bring identification. You'll also have to show your Social Security card, and you'll also be asked at that hearing to testify that you've reviewed the paperwork before your case was filed and that you agreed that it was truthful and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief. The bankruptcy petition that's filed, the bankruptcy schedules, the statement of financial affairs can be amended at any time. But at the Meeting of Creditors, you're going to raise your right arm to the square, and you're going to give oath that the testimony you give will be true and correct. It's a very routine hearing. Don't lose any sleep over it. My clients usually come out of that hearing and go, that was all it was? I worried for 4 or 5 weeks about this hearing. So don't lose any sleep over it. Like I say, the trustee will ask you to state your name. The trustee will ask if you reviewed the paperwork before you filed your case. If the information was true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief, they'll ask if you've transferred any assets away in the last couple of years. They'll ask if you rejected any inheritances in the last 6 years. They'll ask you if you have any offshore accounts or businesses, and if you've created any trusts in the last 10 years. It's very rare situation that a creditor even shows up at this hearing, but if they do, they can ask questions usually about information that they thought should be on the proceedings that wasn't, or they can ask, what are you going to do with a secured asset, something you pledged as collateral on one of your loans? The Meeting of Creditors takes 3 to 4, 5 minutes maximum, usually. These are generalities here. And as soon as the trustee adjourns your hearing or indicates that they have no further questions, then you can go, we can go. It's usually best to ask any questions of your attorney outside of the formal proceeding rather than asking questions of the trustee. So the Meeting of Creditors is nothing to worry about.